Hey Hunters, Lord here, back with another Monster Hunter Wilds video. In today's video, I'm going to cover 6 skills that I think need to make a comeback in Monster Hunter Wilds. Now I of course won't be covering obvious skills that are consistently in every Monster Hunter game like attack boost, defense boost, or weakness exploit, etc. But rather, I'm going to cover skills that aren't found in every title. I do want to state that this list is just my opinion, and if you have a skill that you love that you'd like to see return in Wilds, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. With that being said, let's go ahead and get straight into it. Starting off with number 1, Shock Absorber. Now this was a new skill introduced in Title Update 5 for Sunbreak, meaning it's actually one of the newest skills in the Monster Hunter series as a whole. Shock Absorber disables all damage reactions when you hit a fellow hunter, or when one of your fellow hunters hits you. Shock Absorber is a much better version of Flinch Free in the multiplayer sense. However, Flinch Free does also lessen or negate the knockback of some monster attacks. Now the nicest part for me about Shock Absorber was that it only took up a single level 1 decoration slot in Sunbreak, whereas Flinch Free in Sunbreak took up to 3 level 1 slots or a level 4 slot, and still didn't work quite as well for multiplayer tripping or weapon attacks that launch players airborne. Also, in Monster Hunter World, Flinch Free took up a level 3 slot, or could be a secondary skill in a level 4 combination decoration, which made it significantly more expensive to fit into your sets. The second skill that I'd love to see make a comeback is Torso Up, or Torso Increase. This one is a much older skill, dating back, as far as I could find, Monster Hunter Freedom, but it could help with set building in a rather unique and fun way. In older games, Torso Up would double the amount of points that your chest armor piece gave to a skill. For those of you who may have started with the newer generation of Monster Hunter games, the older games had an adding and subtracting point system. So, for example, to get a level 1 of a skill, you needed 10 points, 15 points for level 2, and 20 points for level 3. Now, not all skills had 3 levels, some had level 1 available at 15 points, but let's use Attack Boost as an example. You needed plus 10 points to attack for attack small, plus 15 for attack medium, and plus 20 for attack up large. Conversely though, if your armor had negative points to attack, getting to minus 10 attack would give you attack down small, minus 15 would give you attack down medium, and minus 20 would give you attack down large. So with that in mind, say that your chest piece in those older games had plus 3 to attack. Having another armor piece with Torso Up would make that chest piece now offer plus 6 points to attack. With our newer generation skill system, I think that having Torso Up as an armor skill on other pieces like the helmet's arms, waist, and legs could actually make set building really fun. Say for example you toss an attack and an expert jewel into your chest piece that already has a skill like, let's say, Evade Window 2, then you put on a waist piece that has the Torso Up skill. Now your chest piece gives Attack Boost level 2, Crit Eye level 2, and Evade Window level 4. Now it obviously won't be the most game-breaking things, it's only doubling a single armor piece, your chest, but I believe it would be a really fun skill to play around with certain sets. Like if they go back to Monster Hunter World's decoration grind and you're struggling to get a second Attack Plus or Expert Plus decoration, you could put the one decoration that you do have into your chest piece, and then use another armor piece with Torso Up to help make up for that missing decoration in your set. My third skill is Grinder S from Sunbreak. This skill gives a 10% sharpness modifier to both white and purple sharpnesses when you recover a certain number of sharpness levels. So at level 3 of Grinder S, you get the effect for 90 seconds after regaining 2 levels of sharpness. For example, that would be like going from green sharpness up to white, or from blue sharpness up to purple. This was a ton of fun to use in Sunbreak and had great synergy with other skills like Heaven Sent or Speed Sharpening, or even the Destroyer Oil skill for Sword and Shield, which would regain sharpness on use. If we get any type of moves or skills that sharpen our weapon in Wilds, Grinder S would be a really nice complementary skill to have in our arsenal. The fourth skill that I'd like to see return is Chance, or Trump Card, for Monster Hunter Generations and Generations Ultimate. This skill in Generations increased the Hunter Art's power during fights with large monsters under certain circumstances. Now I think that this skill could translate nicely into Wilds with the new Focus Strikes as a way to boost their damage, or during the clash attacks like what we've seen with Greatsword and Heavy Bowgun being used to prop open a Doshiguma mouth during some of the attacks. It's not a direct one-to-one conversion, but it could be one of those situational skills that ends up being really good at boosting your damage during those specific scenarios, and so I think it would be a lot of fun to see this come back in Wilds. Skill number 5 is another favorite from Sunbreak called Defiance. Now this was like Agitator, but instead of being used to increase attack and affinity on a monster in Rage, it actually gave additional defense, as well as some other benefits. The extra defense boost started at level 2 where you gained +5, as well as differing levels of earplugs, wind pressure, and tremor resistance, all the way up to level 5 of Defiance, where it would negate all roars, all wind pressure, all tremors, and give you a bonus 30 defense. I had considered putting Unshakable or Rocksteady skill for Monster Hunter 3U in this list, but I think that Defiance is just a better implementation of it and a little more fair. Instead of having a consistent Rocksteady mantle, it only activates on Enrage, and thus I opted to put it here instead of Rocksteady or Unshakable. The final skill that I'd like to see return in Monster Hunter Wilds is Crit Conversion from Monster Hunter Frontier. This allowed you to exceed 100% affinity, and the amount of affinity over 100% was converted instead to attack power. Now with 100% crit being our big marker for most sets, being able to go a little overkill in order to gain some more attack would be a super cool way to play. Now in Frontier, this skill also gave a bonus 30% affinity, but I feel like that might be a bit overkill. So if it did come back in Wilds, I'd only expect to see the part where any affinity over 100% in your set would be converted to attack. This might also lead people into foregoing other skills just to focus on crit stacking, so I feel like this might be a less likely candidate to return, but I think that with the right tweaks, it could be a very strong endgame skill for Monster Hunter Wilds or its Master Rank expansion when it comes out in the future. So these are just 6 skills that I would like to see make a return in some form in Monster Hunter Wilds. There are a ton more that I'd love to have from previous games, but I wanted to try and be a little more selective with my choices, as well as keep the video to a manageable length. What skills from previous games would you like to see come back in Wilds? Be sure to drop a comment down below to let me know. So that's going to do it for today's video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like on the video. If you liked what you saw, or you want more Monster Hunter or Monster Hunter Wilds content, do consider subscribing so that way you never miss an upload. With all that being said, I want to once again thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I wish you all a good day and happy hunting.